about the last harvest, 2018. It's for the second time in a row, very interesting vintage, very new in terms of basics, in terms of balance. I mean that clearly, in my opinion, we are for the two first time, 17 and 18, faced to a kind of new area, new period, and new balance for our wine. Due to weather change, now the production of sugar goes faster, and it means that the level of sugar goes fast. The production goes fast, especially compared to the maturation of the phenolic component. So in a way, we are a little faced to the red wines issues. I mean that we don't have enough time, or the grapes doesn't have enough time to mature compared to the level of sugar, the production of sugar. So the big deal in 17 as well as in 18 was to make the decision to pick the grapes compared to the taste and not compared to the chemistry. I think some mistake were made because still too much growers make the decision compared to a level of sugar, a level of acidity, while they don't taste their grapes. And once again, we have more and more disconnection in between the real phenolic maturity and the production of sugar. Thanks to other vintages like 2007, like 2011, we, for the first time, knew that we can sometimes have a disconnection in between the real phenolic maturity and the production of sugar. I now make my decision based on the taste of the grapes, and I think it's really and more a key point. Whatever the level of sugar, 18 is high, is not crazy high. Average level in my cuvée was a little over 11 degree, natural degree alcohol. In 17 it was 11.5, even 11.5. Sure, we can be a little concerned by that kind of high level of alcohol, but we can't expect to make good wine from unripe grapes. So the key point is still to pick ripe grapes. The reason why I'm not so concerned, even we pick, let's say, very high sugar, so we can consider overripe grapes in terms of sweetness, so sure lower level of acidity, is that we discovered also thanks to 17 that the balance of acidity changed, but not for bad things. The first point is about tartric. The level of tartric acidity doesn't change very much. We still pick almost the same average concentration of tartric, except that the stability of the tartric is much more important along the vinification. Maybe you don't know, but during the vinification, we used to have crystallization, precipitation, so tartric precipitation, so to lose a part of the natural acidity. With the new, let's say, balance of must, the new balance of wine, the tartric is more stable. So it means that we start almost the same level, but at the end of the alcoholic fermentation, at the end of the vinification, the residual level is higher than before, which is the first good point, because tartric is a very good acidity. It's not unpleasant, it's not sharp, it's very well integrated in a wine, responsible for its good freshness, is let's say enjoyable freshness. And about the Malik, sure, we pick the grapes now with a natural lower level of malic acidity. For Peeters, it's not a very big deal, because Peeters' profile of wine was clearly Malo wine. My father was used to undergo Malo for 100% his wine. I changed a little the process because of, once again, different kind of raw material, more higher in maturity. So for 10 years now, we are used to undergo Malo for most of our wine, but we keep a proportion, something like 25-30% the wine no Malo, to try to blend more balanced wine. Knowing that Malique, when it's quite high in level, is still, in my opinion, based on Le Mesnil, which is a very demanding kind of Chardonnay, too sharp. It's like to add a layer of demanding sharp character to a wine which is already demanding. So that's the reason why we were used to undergo Malo, to not add that layer of sharp acidity to a sharp wine. And something I learned a lot from 17, I discovered that sometimes when the level of malic acidity is low enough, the malic doesn't taste sharp. It just tastes like a little like lime or things like that, but anyway, not sharp as it was with higher level. So in 18, for the first time ever, and thanks to 17 experience, we took the decision to keep 50% de Cuvery no Malo for the first time ever at Peeters, just because we know that now the level of malic is low enough to, I can't say to be sweet or to be soft, but anyway, no more too demanding and too sharp. So at the end of the day, that's Champagne history. Sure, we really see a natural evolution of the balance of our wine, the taste of our wine, the grapes we pick, but I'm much less concerned after 17 and 18 about the consequence of weather change, because we feel that and we are faced with the consequence of weather change that I was before. The balance of our wine will change, will move in time, but if we stay sharp and smart, I think we will be able to keep the basics of Champagne. I mean, fineness of flavors with precision and freshness.